Hi guys, thanks so much for joining us today. You are in for a treat because we have an incredible expert. This is Weston from Lux Longboards. Yes, that's a skateboard company. And Weston, I'm so excited to just ask you a little bit about what you do because I was on campus the other day and we have a rather large campus and there were students riding Lux Longboards all over the place. So first of all, bravo to you. Your business is growing exponentially. And I just think your story is very unique. So let me ask first, what did you want to be when you grew up? Like a professional skateboarder?
You know, funny enough, I grew up in Flagstaff, Arizona on a dirt road. Never rode a skateboard or longboard before I came to college at GCU. But, you know, I actually grew up wanting to be an engineer. And that's what led me into Lux Longboards, because these aren't just regular longboards, these are electric longboards.
Oh, that is so cool. So here you go, your opportunity to be an engineer, to be a skateboard pro, it seems. And you know, we can think about what that means. But we're here today to talk about what kind of problem did you encounter? Like, why did you create this company if you were an engineer? If you studied to be an engineer, what happened? Why did you want to do skateboards?
Yeah, so originally I grew up on a dirt road in Flagstaff, Arizona, getting around just using a truck. And when I got to campus, I no longer had access to my vehicle because all you could do was walk. And campus got increasingly big, so I needed a way to get around. So I bought my first longboard to get around. Well, my sophomore year, I purchased an electric longboard on a whim. I had a little bit of extra spending money. And it immediately transformed my college experience because I could get around campus anywhere within 5 minutes. And it just really changed the way that I did it. And that's when I had the idea to start Lux Longboard Rentals.
Oh, so you had a rental company first?
Yeah, so I started Lux Longboard Rentals with the mission of saving students time through electric longboard rentals so that they could afford it. Well, within like a year of starting this rental company, I had like a 90% battery failure rate with the boards I was renting out.
Okay, wait, hold on. So first off, you just saw a need of getting around campus and you saw that you weren't the only one that was like, I'm gonna get a skateboard so that I can get from point A to point B faster. So that's just problem solution. And now you're telling me that you started this rental company and you had another problem when you started it. Like, tell me a little bit more about that second problem.
Yeah, so as I was saying, there was a 90% battery failure rate. So you can imagine, you know, first of all, I started the rental company because that's my entrepreneurial instincts kicked in to solve people's issue of commuting around campus. So that was one big key factor for me to start the rental company. Well, as you were mentioning, I had that second problem. As soon as I started Lux Longboard Rentals, you know, within that first year, I had a problem because all the boards I was renting out were breaking. The batteries were failing.
So not good for business.
No, you can't run a business.
Whoa. Okay, so you were a sophomore and you started a business here on campus as a sophomore. So just think about that, starting a business. That's a whole nother story. But then you saw another problem with batteries failing. So how did you use what you were learning in class to help you fix batteries, or did you?
So funny enough, I started Lux Longboards out of a dorm room, as you were mentioning, but as soon as I had the 90% battery failure rate, I actually was studying mechanical engineering, and I'd learned a little bit about electricities, batteries, all the components that go into that. And so my inner engineer wanted to find a solution to the problem that we were having. So I started innovating.
And iterating, I might say, if you didn't come up with the correct solution right away, or did you?
You know what, took a lot of iterations, but the problem that we were having was these batteries weren't flexible. So you have the deck that's flexing, and then the batteries were rigid, so they would break.
This is the deck here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the solution that I came up with was a flexible battery pack using the same battery cells found in Tesla cars, which I have a couple of them sitting right here.
I like the colors too.
Yeah.
So what's so cool about this is that I see this transferring directly into the classroom, and specifically transfer of energy. So I know that this is really complex, and if you see some of these boards, you'll see these batteries, the flexible, what did you call it, the deck?
Flexible battery pack.
Okay.
And then the deck does flex also.
The deck flexes. See, I'm learning something new about skateboards. The deck is a flexible deck. We've got the batteries. That's kind of complex, but Weston, I can see that the transfer of energy is kind of the foundational skill that you have to know very well in order to move your business along, no pun intended, right? So I brought some things here. Just I wanted your opinion from a teaching standpoint, because as a teacher in K-12, I would love to show students using a skateboard, like how do you think we could actually move this skateboard along? So we brought a couple of items here. A fan, perhaps wind energy could transfer that move that board. Maybe balloons for maybe some additional wind energy, elastic energy, chemical energy. You might have known what's happened. I bet you did this when you were in 6th grade, right? The Mentos and the Coke experiment. Yeah, that's some chemical energy. And then, you know, thinking about the potential energy and transferring that into kinetic energy. And you've got some water here, and you had explained earlier a really neat way to show us how circuitry works using water.
Yeah, so one of the easiest ways that I picture batteries when I'm actually building them and how they work is it's like the flow of water. So if you have your charger right here, you got a battery. Your battery doesn't create energy, you have to transfer it. So you got your wall charger, you plug it into the wall, and guess what it's doing? It's actually filling up the battery. So this might be an hour charge, 2 hours charge. And what happens is once you fill up this mug, or this glass, it actually fills up the cell of the battery. So now you have electricity to move your electric longboard along.
Thus, you have to charge your electric longboard, I'm thinking, or you've got to have a great battery so it can hold that charge, right? Hold that charge.
Yeah.
Ah, that is so cool. Well, I just think this is so incredible. And I do want to say that there are so many ways I think that you in the classroom, I mean, my goodness, we could make a slingshot here and sling this skateboard along. Who knows? All I know is that you all have the creativity, the desire, and the passion to maybe someday be like as cool as Weston and Lux Longboards, who are now making, I bet you're making a lot of money selling these boards to college students. Is that right?
Our mission is just to bring fun, fast, and adventurous transportation to everyone. So we do have an opportunity to get lots of students on boards, and it makes us exciting. And they also have a nice battery life so they can get around.
And there you have it. A pleasure to be with you today, interviewing Weston at Lux Longboards. And until next time, thank you for your time.